Hello, my name is Sean Swallow. I'm the Director of the Career Development Office here with the Schulich School of Law, and I'm going to share information with you about the Schulich School of Law Internship Program. This is a high-level overview of the program. If you're a student and interested in an internship, then your first step is to make an appointment with me. You can do that through the My Schulich Law portal or email me at sean.swallow@dal.ca. That's SAWN.SWALLOW at dal.ca. My contact information will be at the end of this. But let's talk about the internships. So the Schulich School of Law provides funding for summer internships. So these are paid internships. The idea is it provides the student with an opportunity to work in a nonprofit or public interest type organization, which I'll get into a bit later, both in Canada and around the world. So anywhere internship, there's no geographical limit on that. It's really the idea behind the internship is twofold. One, to provide students with just an opportunity to gain legal related work experience or explore career paths, opportunity to take the knowledge that you're gaining in school and apply it to an organization or to a particular area, and of course always make valuable connections with that. The second one is really we want to give back to society and being able to offer internships to organizations who need help and have legal work and have legal projects, but perhaps don't have the money to hire a summer student. So it's a way of giving back to those organizations to get the help that they need. Internships are full-time, 35 hours a week. To get full funding, you have to work minimum 8 weeks, depending on the internship, a maximum of 12 weeks. Internships are not offered to for-profit organizations, so it has to be non-profit. And you can see on the left for 2024, internships are due on February 16th, both applications and proposals. Eligible internship organizations. Like I said, it can't be a for-profit, so it's not for-profit, an NGO, it could be public sector or public interest, social justice organizations. So it could be a charity, legal clinics are great, industry associations, legal aid, health organizations, research, government departments, government agencies, hospitals. So it's really quite broad where you can secure an internship or work as an intern. So with a little creative thinking, you can get out there and talking to organizations. It's really quite broad. These should be volunteer projects, not should be, but you cannot receive remuneration. The idea is that these organizations normally don't have the money to hire a summer student, and so this is a way for them to get a student in and help them, and it's for no cost to them. There are several pathways two main pathways for a student to secure an internship, but several funding pools, if you will, on where they can access funding. So these are the main ones here, and I will go over them very quickly. Detailed descriptions are posted on My Schulich Law and in our internship guide. So again, if you have any questions about any of these, you can reach out to me directly. We can talk about it. So the Linsner-Slatt Advocacy Internship, heavy on advocacy, obviously with the title, and it's open to 1L and 2L. Arthur Miller Internship, 1L, 2L. And both of those are proposal-driven internships, which I'll get into in another slide. Patterson Law Internship is due to us, and it's a local Nova Scotia firm, and it is a application path, internship. That is, as a student, you would submit a cover letter, resume, and any other documents the description is asking for. Student Academic Excellent Internship, proposal driven. That is where most of the internships are funded. We'll through that particular internship, we'll fund about 20 or 25. So most students will apply for that. Schulich School of Law Alumni Internship proposal as well. It is open to 1L and 2L. For the lender, as a student, if you have one proposal, you can submit the same proposal to the Lenzner, the Arthur Miller, Schulich Academic Excellence, and Schulich School of Law. You make sure you're changing up the cover page and things like that, and you identify which internship you're submitting a proposal for. And finally, the Honorable Gordon S. Cowan Court of Appeal internship. That is an application internship where you would submit a resume, cover letter, and other documents that description calls for. So that's the main pools of funding. And everything is due on February 16th of 2024. Around that. Again, descriptions will be posted on My Schulich Law, and I'm always available to talk about them as well. So the proposal-driven internships, I'll just go into that a little bit. I identified them. There's the Lenzner SLAT, Advocacy, Internship, Advocacy, Arthur Miller, and the Academic Excellence, and the School of Law Alumni Internship. So what I mean by proposals is that the student puts the proposal together and submits it to the law school by the February 16th deadline. It goes to a committee, and the committee reads them all and decides then which ones will receive funding. So to build your proposal, it's your responsibility as a student to go out to organizations that fit with, that are eligible, and initiate discussions with them, and basically work on creating your own summer job description or designing a legal related work or project. And so that's that need of that discussion with that organization. Now, most organizations know what help they need, so you don't necessarily have to go in there and create or tell them what you can do. Most of them have work they need, but it's up to you to kind of really flesh that out, and where you can add value, and where you can help them complete their work or complete the project that they're working in. So it really is up to you to get out there. And again, meeting with me, I can help you strategize how you can do that. The proposals themselves, we want maximum 2 pages. Not including the cover page. I mean, if it's more than 2 pages, that's fine, but it doesn't have to be a great big long proposal. But we do want a well-written, error-free, proper grammar, and well thought out proposal, and very well presented proposal. So we don't want things slapped together on things. We want you to think about this and careful what you submit. So cover page, student name, contact information, and the name of the proposed internship. Project description, and this is the crux of the proposal. We want to know about the organization. So describe your organization, the mission, the vision, the values. Do they have a strategic plan? Like, who do they serve? Why do they exist? And that's usually quite easily found out just by talking to them or even looking at their website. Describe your interest in the organization or their legal work that they're doing, and do you have any relevant experience? Perhaps you volunteered with them before, or you got connected with them through other work, or maybe it's a pro bono related from Pro Bono Canada. Just if you have any type of connection. You don't need to have any work experience or relevant experience, but just if you have it, just helps. Or maybe it's related to a course you took and you just got interested in that area of law, or that work that particular organization does. And provide a substantive description of the project, including your work, what you will be doing, your role, and your responsibilities. And that is really fleshed out and talked to with your direct supervisor or whoever's going to supervise you at the organization, and really, you should be able to sit down and write out what type of work that you're going to be involved in. If it's a clinic, so you're doing frontline clinic, you're helping people through whatever legal process they're going through, or issues or barriers. Maybe it's research, policy development, legislative development. So just depends on the organization, but be as detailed as you can with what work that you'll be doing there. And what can you expect to learn? What skills do you hope to develop, or what skills are you going to put to bear at this internship? And what do you expect to develop? How does internship apply or relate to your academic program or your career goals? Is this working in this organization is something that you want to do for after you graduate? Just let us know how this can be meaningful and impactful to you. And of course, the benefits to the organization or the people that they serve. Like, what is the outcome of the work that you're going to be doing? What difference is it going to make? Add a few lines about that as well. Indicate number of weeks you're going to be working. That would tell us if it's full, if it's 8 weeks or the 12 weeks, and estimated start date and end date. So you don't have to know exactly, just estimate it. And legal supervision confirmation. So this can be just a letter or an email from the organization that just confirms that you have an internship placement with them pending funding, and include the name who will be your direct supervisor. The preferred supervision should be provided by a legal professional, that is someone with a law degree and perhaps has practice. Now, that's preferred. I want to stress that. It's not required. There's lots of organizations out there that do not have lawyers working in them, but they have people who are just the subject matter experts for that area and just have the depth and wealth of experience. And that is perfectly fine. There's absolutely no issues with that. Just bear that in mind. With the project proposal, include your resume, meet with the CDO, make sure your resume is up to scratch, and your law school grades. So we don't look for official grades. You can just download what's on Dell online. And for 1L students, you can submit your fail-safe grades that you receive from the Student Services Office in January. I'll talk very quickly about payment. I won't spend too much time on payment because that's down the road, but just a few points that you need to keep in mind if you're looking at an internship. You are considered a Dalhousie employee and paid directly from the university. So in your discussions with the organization, that's a good point to make because it doesn't cost them a thing, and the university covers all costs related to employment. You're paid in 2 installments. You rate at when you first start your internship. We have a form you fill out, signed by your supervisor. You send that back, and you get your first installment. And your first installment depends on which internship you have and the funding level. I believe it's broken up. If it's a Shuley School of Law, it's $5,000 first and then $3,000 at the end. The final installment is when you produce your internship report and a donor thank you letter. I'll spend a little bit of time on internship report. I don't have a slide on it because you'll get a lot more information about that later once you secure an internship, but I will say that it's a very important piece of this, and we have high expectations that you will write and produce a good sound report. It's a self-reflective piece report, about your experience at the organization, what you've learned, what you've gained, what was the impact, so it's not too long, but it should be well written, every grammar well presented. It's a report that is shared with the donors. So if it's a Lensner, we share this report. So it's reflective on your writing and who you are. So we expect a well-written and well-prepared report on that. And of course, myself, I'm available to talk to you when you reach that point of writing the report, how to frame that. And of course, a donor thank you letter is really important as well. The donors are giving us money, and we wouldn't have these internships without them. And so that letter, we send that letter to them. So again, we expect you to produce a well-written letter that again just describes what was the impact of this internship, and our donors love to hear. That's why they provide the funding, to have an impact, and that particular internship was meaningful to you and had a big impact, and perhaps changed the trajectory of your career, or or you gained a wealth of experience and skills. This is what the donor wants to hear. The other thing I'll say is internships they're not a scholarship or a bursary, and this is an important point. It's considered employment income, and all the applicable employment tax are taking off that. So income tax, employment insurance, CBP, those things. So it's approximately about 5% that it's deducted from your pay. So some students are a little surprised to see that. So I just need to make sure I make that point that there will be deductions. You get all that back anyway when you submit your taxes. Students are awarded internship. You can work at a research assistant for the law school and hold an internship, but just not at the same time. You're working way too many hours. You're going well over 40 hours a week or 35 hours a week. So just we can't have that. So you have to do one or the other. One has to follow the other. Your commitment. So once you receive the internship offer and you accept it, these are the things we're asking you to commit to. So obviously, again, you're going to complete the entirety of the internship. You're committed to the organization. They'll work a certain amount of weeks and a certain amount of hours. So we obviously expect you to fulfill that commitment. Unless something else obviously comes up in your life, things happen, but it's not taking an internship and then finding something else and leaving. So we expect you to maintain and keep your commitments. I talked about the report, and you get more details about that. If you can and it's appropriate, we would love to see just you in action, working in action, and with your colleagues or workers or whatever, however you would like to frame yourself and take photos, and obviously with the organization's permission, and you can embed that in your report. And we obviously love to promote these internships as well. So if you're open to being profiled either on our website or articles or just social media, and just promotes the work that you're doing as an intern, and the organization you work in, and the impact that Schulich School of Law is having through our students in organizations that wouldn't necessarily have the resources to have a student in place. And a thank you letter to the donor who provided the funding. So those are your student commitments on that. This is a very long list of organizations. This will be in the guide, or when you meet with me, I can certainly provide these. So these are organizations that have taken on an intern in the past. So see, it's quite diverse, and lots of different areas of law, from family law to criminal law to business policy law to human rights law, international humanitarian law with the Red Cross. So it's just a lot of interesting areas. So again, it's quite broad. So this list, you can certainly approach any of the organizations on this list. The one advantage is that they're familiar with the program and how it works, and they all know what kind of work they need help with. If it's a new organization, great. Make an appointment with me, and we will talk about if it's eligible, and then and perhaps how you approach them. Okay, so that provides a very high-level overview of the internship program. It's an excellent program. We've had hundreds of students go through it. We've worked with hundreds of organizations, and it really is a wonderful way, especially for a 1L and a 2L as well, to gain some legal work experience and working in an area that perhaps you have a passion for or an interest in that wouldn't necessarily be we would see a posting for, because the organization is usually nonprofit. They're tight, they don't have a lot of money, and they can't hire students. So it really is a win-win program. So if you're interested, the first step is to meet with me and just talk about what you're interested in, talk about the organizations and where I can help you. So that would be the first step in this. And the next step would be, if you're doing a proposal-driven one, is start looking at organizations to approach. A few questions that we do get. One question is, when do I start reaching out to organizations? And I would suggest you can start anytime. Which it doesn't matter when. I think you can lay the foundation if you start reaching out as early as possible and start having those conversations. Deadline is February 16th, I believe I said. February 15th, 16th, sorry. So starting now is good, or the Christmas break, or into January. Another question that comes up, because January is a heavy recruitment period for 1Ls and 2Ls, Atlantic Canada, and other recruitment. Do I do both? Do I try an internship and go into the recruitment as well? And I would suggest that you absolutely can do both. You can have these conversations with the internship. It's always pending funding, and still go through the recruitment. The good, you will find out if you have a job through the formal kind of firm recruitment before the application deadline for internships. So it can work out. But I wouldn't delay your reaching out to organizations for internships until after the recruit. I think you can start these exploratory conversations with them. So that's the overview. Again, my contact information is there. You can also make an appointment on My Schulich Law. And thank you for listening. And please just reach out if you have any questions.